Do you spend hours working by yourself on your drawings, thinking you're coming up with something really cool, then you post it online and you get next to zero interactions? Well, let's talk about 3 secrets, things you can do to help get more views and likes of your artwork online. Jumping right into it, the 3 things I'm going to talk about are: 1, you need to have repetition and consistency. 2, you need to have something controversial. And 3, you need to have confidence. Be yourself. Believe in yourself. Now, as an artist, it's a probably familiar topic to think that you need to be repetitive to be good at art. You need to be repetitive when you post online as well, and how you post, and what type of things you post. Some of the artworks that you see online, the really popular people, you maybe just by chance jump on their channel one day and see that they have millions of views or millions of likes or whatever it might be. But you forget that they've done this perhaps for years and years. Not only the posting online part, but they've probably been drawing and doing their craft and repetition of their work and style and everything for years prior to that. So don't forget about that when you are working on something yourself. And when you're posting, that's sort of the last step in the process. If you are new to that and new to sharing your artwork online, just remember that not only does it take the repetition from the 0 to that point, but there's also the repetition of all that extra work that needs to happen in the posting part. Whether it's the engagement you do online, or the style of video, how you edit the video, or who you talk with afterwards. So there's just so many things that go into it. And ultimately, the people that are really successful are doing the same kind of thing over and over and over and over and over again, which is going to get into some of the other things that are helpful as well. But this is something that everybody understands, everybody knows, and they just keep chugging through it, which is part of the downside of working with art online. In the end, artists know this, we understand this, and this is just the way that the game is played. It takes a lot of work, a lot of repetition in your craft and believing in what you do to post it and to get it out there for it to be seen. Okay, so let's say you've done all that, you're posting, and you still aren't getting attention and views. Well, let's go on to number 2. Number 2 is I'm going to talk about here is controversy. And you might be thinking, okay, what? Do I have to lie? Do I have to do clickbait? What do I need to do? What is your recommendation? Well, first of all, the first controversy that happens with art, and I think is kind of across the board on good artwork, is you're taking something, nothing, and you're bringing it to something potentially really amazing and really beautiful. That in itself is like a controversy. It's how could somebody do that? So if you're fantastic at art, then bringing someone along that journey is going to be, in a way, something of a controversy, because it's, to a non-artist, they might be thinking, holy crap, how does somebody do that? So some case in point examples here are, for me, myself, what I've done is I've drawn on $1 before, and when you draw on $1, people think, is that illegal? And then that sparks a controversy, and that gets a lot more views. Since don't do that anymore, but if you think about street artists like Banksy, these people are doing something a little bit shifty, and it gets a lot of attention and views. Another really quick recent example for myself was I was drawing on my skateboard and people were saying, oh, that skin tone's the wrong color. So then in a video, I was fixing skin tone color by request, which is in a way sort of like people are going to watch it and think, I think it's fine. I don't see anything wrong with the skin tone. People will think that. People will think, oh, wow, he's fixing something based on somebody's comment. Or maybe was there an argument? There's more depth to it when there's a controversy. So you understand that there's more than just the blanket label controversy that like somehow fuels it. But you can, when you start thinking about that and applying it maybe to your own artwork, or just thinking about that and then looking at other artworks of other videos or other creators, you see that there's this going on, and people think about this. What other element can they use on their artwork, which their artwork might be great, but what can you use to spin it or to create a little bit more oomph and to get grab them in, get their attention. So the last point I want to make today is about being confident and believing in yourself. And as an artist, this comes in a lot of different ways. First of all, you have to be confident in your skills. So a quick story from me with my artworks, I would originally draw things, post them on Instagram. I knew that I was confident that they looked good. They looked like the quote unquote real thing. They looked like the cartoon perhaps that I'm drawing. And I could see that it was right, but it wouldn't get a lot of attention. You need to have your confidence beyond that. Your confidence needs to be in like a little bit needs to go a long way. Like you need to have your confidence that what you're doing is right, so then you are repetitive with it and you're confident in your skills as an artist, and then so you need to bring the extra things. Once you get people, hook them in with their attention, that they will appreciate what you do. You have to put in the 10 hours on a piece and then put in the extra hours on top, because you're confident in your skills and you're confident in what you can produce, so that if you put all that extra work, you're gonna get it to somewhere far. Now, that's what the really great artists online are doing. They're putting so much more time in, and they will talk about this. A lot of artists will say it doesn't matter what kind of equipment you use. A lot of artists like to do like the cheap version, and then on the other side do the expensive version with like different materials. And they do this because they're confident in their skills. Once you get your skills to a certain point, you realize it's not so much about the equipment or about what you're using, it's about all these other things. If you're lacking the confidence, you got to get the repetition in there. You got to believe in yourself first. Have that little bit go a long way. Like for me, if I draw something and I give it to somebody, or somebody comments on my work and I draw for them effectively, it's seeing that I can please somebody and I'm confident in that, and knowing that that can work, then that extrapolates and boosts me further in where other people can experience it and other people can enjoy it. So these are things you're gonna have to work on, I'm sure, if you have never thought of them before. But if you like this kind of discussion, please drop a like or maybe consider subscribing. I'm Marazki. See you next time.